What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? Tonight we're going to be going over Shane Dawson's video. Now it is nearly 20 minutes, so there may be some parts where I summarize what they're talking about, or we just sort of blow past it. I'll give you explanations for it, but we may not necessarily watch all of it because it's so long. But we're also going to be going over some Today I Learned as well as some comments. So I hope you heathens are ready. I know that I am. I would already love to thank Jasper Jeep for sending in a couple of super chats. One of them, he wants me to say, Thank you, Jasper Jeep. Anybody that does a super chat, I will definitely read your super chat off the first chance that I get. So if you want to, go ahead and do those super chatty things. If you will notice, I have a NASA shill hat on, even though technically I'm not good enough for NASA to be a shill for them. That's fine. I mean, they have standards and I don't meet those standards. That's cool. I still want to be able to say fuck on my streams. So, anyways, thank you, NASA. Not hashtag not sponsored. Totes not sponsored. So, let's get on to Today I Learned. Oh, there's his face. Look at that face. So innocent and stupid. Alright, so hold on. I gotta get the first Today I Learned pulled up for you lovely people. Don't worry, I got them numbered. Alright, so the first one up is a little bit of a sad one. We've got Drew's book review saying, glad to support you, Flat Earth Fridays, always fun. I hope that you guys enjoyed as much as I do. I really love Flat Earth Fridays. Alright, so today I learned an 86-year-old woman wrote an upbeat review for her local paper about a new Olive Garden. I know KC loves Olive Garden so much.
No. The lawyers say that's not true. Take it the fuck back right now.
Okay. She was mercilessly mocked by the internet. Anthony Bourdain thought she had a valuable point of view on small town dining, so he published a book of her reviews. So thank you, Anthony Bourdain, for being that awesome of a person. I hate that you went out like you did. But yeah, there's a little bit of an upbeat Today I Learned. And now for weird shit. Godless Island, hey buddy. NASA, nutsy ape skittle androids. That's what we do. Nutsies, apes, skittles, and androids. Didn't you know that's how we got to the moon? The flavored rainbow. Or what do they call it? Flavor of the rainbow. That's how you get to the moon. Today I learned about the Pentagon's Cafe Ground Zero, a hot dog stand in the middle of the Pentagon that the Soviets believe housed the most top secret meeting room because satellite images showed U.S. military officers entering and exiting the hot dog stand at the same time every day. I don't know which time of day it was, but I'm guessing it was a lunch time of some sort.
Oh, taste the rainbow.
Taste the rainbow. Jasper Jeep says, fuck me. Mercilessly.
There you go.
There we go. Godless Island, flavor my rainbow. Wink, wink.
You know how you like the cock soup.
Yeah, we know Godless Island loves the cock soup. All right, here's a weird one from the Aztecs. Today I learned in Aztec mythology, giving birth was seen as a woman's battle with the gods to win her child's life. Mothers who succeeded were celebrated, while women who died in childbirth were thought to become vampiric monsters called Chihuateteo, which stole other women's children. You bitches. That's all I gotta say. Why you gotta be stealing other children's?
Oh, the craziest part about that whole Today I Learned is that you actually pronounced that word.
Did I? I shot in the dark. I can't say mercilessly.
I mean, I don't know if you said it right, but it was closer.
I started with Chihuahua, and then I just sounded it out. Chihuahua Teteo. It feels right. Gotta be right if it feels right, am I right? Cock soup. 5 parts cock, 1 part soup. Is it chicken broth or beef broth? I'm guessing beef.
Pork.
Sausage. Pork? Yeah. Pork soup. Now on to the comments of the day. Prepare to face bomb yourself in the next week.
Oh my god, you got the song right too.
I know, I am on a roll. That dose of sunlight today really helped me the fucketh out. Alright, so I think this was a little bit of a miscommunication on, I believe it was one of the videos earlier this week. Alex Seprin says, "Fuck you, Casey. I'm disabled. I can read, but I can't understand everything I read, you asshole. Disabled people exist."
First of all, it's K
C.
2 letters, no period.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, KC wouldn't say that disabled people don't exist.
What I said is the guy in the video couldn't read.
Yeah, the guy in the video couldn't read, not that disabled people can't read. And did you say that the guy seemed disabled?
No.
Okay,
the
so...
guy wasn't disabled. I mean, he was mentally not right, but...
Right. So I think it was just a little bit of a communication thing there. So, Alec, I think that this was a little bit stepping overboard. Maybe re-listen to certain parts and make sure you heard something, because this is definitely not something that Casey would ever say.
I don't know who the fuck Casey is.
Oh, yeah. We don't know who Casey is. I really don't like this girl much. And then I don't even know what... I guess that's like the eyebrows and then eyes. And then I don't know what that infinity symbol is below the eyes. Maybe that's like a nose and a mouth. I don't even know what the fuck that symbol is. I mean, I have no idea. I could probably look it up. I mean, I should have, but oh well. Shady Bladley, I love that woman. Just so you fucking know. Okay. Mike Lemons, say, Soylent Verde es humanos!
What the fuck does that
mean? Soylent Green is humans. Or are humans. Are human. Something, I don't know. I think that's about right. Okay. All right. Giving people like this any forum is not a good idea. Not do you seem to have the chops to shut him down. On the second part, you have to be 10 times him. You do not say, I disagree. You tell him he is wrong and is lying. Well, Richard, what I have to say about this is that I can give a forum to anybody I fucking want to. It's my own goddamn channel. I love it when people come on, think they can dictate who gets a forum on my channel and who doesn't. I mean, honestly, that's pretty pretentious of you to assume that you can do that. Second, on your second part here, I'm not going to tell somebody that they are lying when they tell me something they believe or something that they think. Because for one thing, I can't know that they're lying unless I know them personally. More often than not, I'm not going to know them, right? So I don't know that they're lying. They can be wrong and not be lying at the same time. You can have bad information, repeat said bad information, and not be lying. So I don't think that it's productive in any conversation to tell somebody, hey, you're lying about this, when they're obviously espousing things that they think are true. So my advice on this particular comment is that don't tell people that they're lying, and also don't tell people who they can host on their channel and who they can't. That just pisses people off and make them want to get the people on there 10 times harder. This was on Vice Rhino's video that I did a guest spot for last week. If you don't know Vice Rhino, do a Google search or a YouTube search. Vice Rhino, you'll be able to find them. But this guy says, "What a juvenile, very sad intro." Unsubbed. In case you didn't see that one, Vice Rhino is Canadian, and so what I did was KC videotaped a bunch of near empty syrup bottles that were leading up to me, who had a Vice Rhino like mask on my face, and then I sort of played out, the scenario where he's having to call me up and get me to do a video for his channel because he drank so much syrup the night before, he's all fucked up the day after. And apparently that was way too juvenile for this person. I asked Rhino about this, and he was like, if they can't take a joke, then fuck them. I don't want them on my fucking channel. GM Skeptic in the house. Watch out. Iowan's coming up on us. He got 1,000 subscribers.
He can't hear from all the way up there.
We love you, GI. Swollen Goat, which I have to say, sans the extra L in your name, that's a magnificent screen name. GE seems like a nice guy. Whatever kind of fucking ellipses that is. That's like a whole breadcrumb trying to... I guess maybe he's trying to lead us to the next place. I mean, you just need 3 dots, bro. But he really isn't all that good at the whole counter-apologetics thing. He seems to have a very superficial grasp of the subjects, and I can't say I've ever learned anything from him. I'm not really sure why he's so popular among the clearly better content creators around these parts, other than he seems, like I said, like a cool enough guy. That's right, I fucking am a cool enough guy. Everybody wants to be my friend. No, I mean, honestly, I don't know why people like to watch me either. I mean, I try to impart some knowledge. Obviously, he already knows everything that I know. You sometimes run across pretentious people like that. They're like, I already know everything that you do. Haha, fuck you. I'm drinking my Bud Light. Which I have to say, this Bud Light Orange is very tasty. If you get a chance to try the Bud Light Orange, it's nice. 3 dots. Yeah, I don't understand the need for the extra dots. That's like putting way too much butter in like your food. I mean, sure, it makes it seem better or something, but I mean, you really don't need it.
Yeah, Brony, at Godless and Godless Iowan kiss.
The Godless Iowan. I have been wounded. A duel, my good man, at done. Prince Thunder. Oh, sorry, I missed Prince Thunderflare's super chat. I didn't mean to. I was really into some comments and shit. Oh, I did. I'm sorry. Prince Thunderflare. Taste the rainbow for Pride Month. Ah, that would be interesting. I don't even know what that would entail, but that would be interesting. Sorry I missed your super chat there, Prince Thunderflare, but thank you for reminding me. Okay. So, yeah, I think I do have a pretty good grasp on the subjects, so I don't know. I mean, you can feel whatever way you want to about my counter-apologetics, but, I mean, I do the research and I relay the information. Try, instead of making such a pretentious comment, actually relaying good information whenever I fuck up or something. I don't know. Read a book. Yeah, I already read it. GE, you keep using the word Masonic when I'm pretty sure you meant Masonic. Messianic. Different concept, but then maybe it's an American thing. Nope, I can guarantee you right now it is a drunk Southern thing. Spider killer extraordinaire right here.
Did you just kill a spider on the...
Yes, I am. I'm that badass. I just squished a fucking spider. No care for my life.
badass. That's
So yeah, messianic, masonic, messianic, like, I don't know, maybe my own personal, like, shit was getting in the way, like, my own pronunciation of things. Sometimes I have problems with words. Jay Thompson, squiggly wiggly itchy witchy. Got that on the first try. Soylent Green is people. Thank you, Carolyn. All right. Ooh, shit. Okay, so we need to get to a good... Here's a pretty good stopping spot. I'm going to go ahead and read through this entire thing.
Angry Pumpkin is here.
Angry Pumpkin? What the fuck, Angry Pumpkin?
AP is here.
AP, how you doing? AP stayed with me for a little bit. A couple of years ago? Damn, it's been a while. Yeah. All right, so Matt Patak. I think Jesus did exist, but he was not divine. The earliest versions of the earliest books of the gospel were written close enough to when Jesus lived, between 40 and 70 years after his death, depending on who you ask. The total fabrication seems unlikely, considering the fact that people reading would have known it was false if they... excuse me. They would have known it was false if they had never heard of this person who was said to be widely famous. He was likely just a guy who preached to the people. Maybe he did some parlor tricks that convinced people of his divinity, but any actual miracles were exaggerations and stories. So someone like the Jesus character likely existed, but he had no divine powers. He probably wasn't even named Jesus. But I think someone who lived a similar life and preached similar messages probably did exist. Okay, so the whole problem with this particular comment here is the fact that you're basing all of this on assumptions and not on anything that we can prove with actual history. So was Jesus named Jesus? Well, no, because Jesus is actually a translation of Yeshua. And so his actual name would have been Yeshua or Joshua, which is already a biblically prophetic name. And so could somebody have been preaching the same shit that Jesus was preaching? Yeah, probably. But then again, if he was widely known, if he was in any way known to the population around there, you would also have historians that were recording, him being there. Namely, Josephus, because Josephus records other messianic prophets who supposedly were supposed to be the Messiah and failed. So if Jesus was just another failed Messiah that just died at the hands of the enemy, the Romans, the Jews, whoever, then he would have been written down at least somewhere, and we just don't have that. That is a very basic kind of response to this thing. But look into it more if you don't trust me or believe me or anything like that. There is nobody that records anything that we could recognize as a Jesus character in history. That's just simply not there. So there you go. All right, so let's get to Shane Dawson. Yes, this is from Celebrate Truth. So Celebrate Truth pulled this from Shane Dawson's original video, and because he did that, I linked I linked Shane Dawson's original video at the time code where this starts, but I pulled it from Celebrate Truth. If you really want Celebrate Truth, then you can look him up on YouTube. But for all intents and purposes, we're going to start with this. All right, so just to give you a little overview, that is Shane Dawson's brother, Jared, spelled with like Jerid for some fucking reason. And then you got Shane Dawson, and then there's Cameraman A. So, they're going to be going over Flat Earth and why Jared's brother believes it, and then why he convinces Shane to believe it too.
First time I let somebody tell me a conspiracy, and it's from one of the biggest conspiracy theorists I know, my own brother. And what he told me was mind-blowing.
Honey, what Jared told his brother is fucking mind-blowing, and we should believe it.
What?
Yep.
I know. flat Earth, one of the most controversial theories of all time. And I'm going to be honest, I've never even looked into it because there's such a stigma around it.
We're going to talk.
Okay, so just because there's a stigma around something shouldn't prevent you from looking into it. If you really want to investigate something, I think that you should, and nobody should shun you or berate you or anything like that for at least considering it. Because when I first heard that people actually believed the Earth was flat, I went out and I looked for them to try to convince me. Not that I wanted to be convinced, but just that I wanted to know if what they were saying represents reality. And if that is your goal, then definitely search it out.
Talk about the flat earthers.
What is a flat Earth society, by the way?
People who believe the earth is flat.
Still?
Yeah.
That was a joke about the world being flat, right?
Was it?
But I wanted to try something different and come up with a new segment for these conspiracy videos. I want to talk to somebody who believes in a crazy conspiracy theory, and they have to try to convince me to believe in it too. So I went to the biggest conspiracy theorist I know, my brother. Okay.
Okay, first of all, I lament fucking conspiracy theorists. For one thing, they base everything on assumption. For another thing, they base it on emotion. And they base their shit on just wanting to be different than the crowd. They feel like being part of the crowd or part of society is a bad thing, so they do what they can to be different from society or outside of society. And, I mean, not that that's bad necessarily, but if you really want it hard enough, you will believe any fucking thing.
I am here with my brother Jared, who might be an even bigger conspiracy theorist than me.
If that's even possible. But I'm trying.
So I want to talk to you about the flat Earth theory because it's something that you've kind of touched on, and I always kind of like move on because I've heard it's so crazy.
It is very crazy. In order for you to even start to take it seriously, you have to put yourself in the mind frame of people that believe in the flat earth. And why would they even want to believe in the flat earth?
Well, you're saying they, so you don't believe it?
I'm open to the idea. I don't know. For me, at least, it's hard for me to pinpoint what I believe.
Okay, so the problem that I have right off the bat here with Jared is that he says that he's open to the idea of the flat earth. And what I think that people should be doing is being open to the truth and remaining skeptical of things that contradict what you know to be true. And to not give in to things just because they like they just, I guess, common sense wise maybe makes sense to you, because common sense can be tricky. Common sense can lead you down wrong paths. Common sense is most often wrong. So like actually researching the information, actually getting answers, and wanting to know the actual truth should be the goal of anybody, not just being open to the idea that the earth is flat. Like, I don't know, that's a little bit of a nuanced thing, but it's still, I feel like that is where he first took a swan dive into the black hole that is conspiracy theories.
So I'm open to both.
Same.
What?
This is not like a bisexual thing. Okay.
Oh. You know, I'm down for the flat earth, but that round earth got me too.
Okay.
I'm a weekend.
You know, I snort too, but I still laugh at people when they snort.
Flat earther.
All right, so this is the gay version of the Bible where Lot has two sons and they both fuck their dad.
Okay, so we have to be in the mindset, right?
Yeah, so you got to be in the mindset. So you have to think about the foundation of it. All the information that we get about the Earth, about space, the moon, and all these things comes from NASA.
No! No, that's not where we get our information about any of those things. I mean, sure, NASA is one organization where we get the information from, at least the modern information. But I mean, before NASA was even created, we had people that were looking out to the stars, that were explaining shit, that were able to see out there and tell you that the Earth is indeed a sphere. We've known the Earth to be a sphere since before, what was it, like the 6th or 7th century BC? So No, NASA's not where we get for our information from. The most basic information we got from people way, way, way fucking before NASA. But even in modern times with NASA, we also have the European Space Agency, we got JAXA, we've got independent people from all around the globe that corroborate what NASA says about our solar system. So fuck you, no!
Every picture that you've ever seen is given to you by NASA. So NASA is also associated with...
That's not true either. JAXA and the ESA also have their own pictures too.
With the moon landing being a hoax.
One small step for man.
They are some of the most famous images in history. But why are there no stars in the night sky? Why is...
Okay, so that's a really good point to bring up. Why are there no stars on any of the pictures or anything on the moon? Well, to be brief and just straight to the point, they had to set up their cameras so that it just wasn't a big bright mess whenever they took video or photos. So they had to adjust the aperture, however you pronounce that shit, aperture. They had to adjust the aperture so that it didn't let in all of the light, only a little bit. And because they had to do that, it means that it wasn't able to capture the stars in the background. So that's the reason why you don't see stars, easily explainable to anybody that knows how a fucking camera works.
The American flag waving here when there was no air to cause any breeze.
Okay, they had to fucking like smash that flag down into the ground there. So yes, as they were smashing the flag into the ground, the flag was moving because they were hitting the fucking flag. As soon as it was still and they weren't touching it, it didn't move. You can find GIF images out there that show the astronauts moving around the flag, not hitting it, and the flag staying still. So no, there's no air on the moon. There was nothing to blow the flag on the moon. It's just while they were nailing it into the ground.
Are moments where the crosshairs lie behind equipment.
No, the crosshairs weren't lying behind the equipment. It just blended into the picture. God damn it.
Guys fall forward and looks like they get yanked up by wires.
Drew's book review says, if you write a book on what flat earthers are crazy, on why flat earthers are crazy and wrong, I promise to review it on my channel free of charge. Lol. Also say hi to KC for me. Drew says, hey.
Hi.
Reflected in the visor is a mysterious object.
It's just a reflection of some shit. Like, I don't know what to tell you about that, man. There's nothing weird about it. It's just reflection of shit.
I'm sure that's something that everyone at this point has heard of, right? All the pictures that they take of the Earth are composite images, so no images that we see are actually ever a camera from real far away looking at the Earth.
Well, that's because the cameras that are used to take pictures like this of the Earth generally take them in like the red, blue, and green filters, and then they have to composite them on top of each other. So yeah, they're a little edited, but it's so that they get a true color of the Earth. And of course, every camera is going to be different. It's going to be different depending on, you know, where the Earth is at in its rotation around the sun. So yeah, I don't see a problem with this.
Wait, what do you mean? They're all composite images because they can't just get it all in one shot, so they have to go around the Earth and take a bunch of pictures and then they piece it together.
International.
Yeah, sorry, my camera spazzed out. I forgot to refocus it at some point. And so, boom, there we go. It's tracking my face now. There we go. Okay, we're back. So, yes, the satellites that take the high-resolution images of, like, just the surface of the Earth, they oftentimes do have to composite it together, because when they take images, it's not like they just take the entire, like a insanely high-res photo from far away, and then that's one half of it, and then they can easily change or you know, adjust how, you know, where it's taking another picture at. They have to go off what they're able to do, and since the satellites rotate around the Earth, well, rather they orbit around the Earth, and they orbit in these specific patterns, so they have to sort of puzzle piece them together. I don't understand why this is a problem, or why, you know, filling in the gaps of like ocean water would be a bad thing necessarily. It's just so that you don't have this unintelligible image of the Earth with holes and shit in it. Prince Thunderflare, did God strike down your stream because of what you said about Jesus? That'll teach you. No, it was just my dumb ass forgetting to like focus the camera or something so it stayed awake.
Space station residents only see about 3% of Earth's surface at any one time.
If you zoom in on them, there's cloud formations that repeat several times, which, how could that ever really happen? They're just...
I like Shane Dawson's. I like his fucking look right here, because he's like, oh fuck, this makes a lot of sense. I'm starting to suck this flat Earth dick right here. Oh shit, no! But, so the guy explained exactly why there would be like filled in gaps or whatnot with repeated images or what the fuck ever. And so now you're going to be like, oh, but they have these repeated images in there, so therefore it's all CGI bullshit. That's really disingenuous.
Copy and pasting things.
There's a small problem with it because there's a very slight gap in between each orbit. It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
Yeah, that's where they get the whole, it's Photoshop, but it has to be. It's Photoshop, but it has to be. But I mean, the guy was simply explaining like how the satellites orbit around the Earth, take the pictures, and how there are gaps in it, so they have to fill in those gaps. And so I really don't see how him providing that explanation means that they're all fake. I mean, it's not fake. They just have to muck around with the places that they don't have pictures for.
That's one thing that builds distrust, because you have to have distrust of who's giving you your information to feel like maybe the flat Earth is feasible, right?
It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
But I love, you know, every time that particular clip plays, I think of that fuck ODD TV.
Well, and even the moon landing is one of those things where, like, maybe 20 years ago, everybody thought, oh, that's stupid, that's crazy. But now, I feel like kind of everybody's down for the moon landing being fake.
I mean, they say all the footage of the original moon landing was lost.
You know what they think happened to the original moon tapes? Is they might have been taped over. It's not a cassette. It's not an old mixtape from college.
We've been unable to track it down.
And as I said, even if we had it, we don't have the machines to play it back.
It's incredible that we can keep track of Egyptian pots from 2,000 years ago, but we lose tapes made only 40 years ago.
Okay, so to explain this, you have to understand that NASA is very under budgeted. So yes, the original tapes that were used to record the raw information from the moon landing, they were taped over because they didn't have enough money to get new tapes. And also, as the one guy said, we don't have the technology to replay them now. Just like we don't have the technology to send another Apollo mission up, or have the technology to send another shuttle mission up or whatnot. Like, the shuttles weren't even designed to fucking land on the moon or anything like that. They were always meant for like low orbit research and shit. So I don't buy the whole, oh, they lost the original tapes. Well, yeah, sure. The original tapes were taped over and we don't have them anymore, but there were copies of them made, so that's why they were okay with taping over them. I mean, sure, if they had more of a budget, they would have wanted to preserve them, but they were working on a constrained budget, so I really don't blame them for taping over the raw data when they had many different copies otherwise.
So we lose all the footage and all the technology was destroyed.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology.
And then...
Well, yeah, we destroyed the technology because we had to build a better way in order to get there, but also, get in space. which were the shuttle missions. But then, you know, there was no reason for us to go back to the moon. We went several times to the moon. I don't know what else that we can do on the moon other than set up a fucking moon base for, I don't know, another James Bond movie.
Have the original I Love Lucy.
That's a good point. We don't have the original tapes of I Love Lucy, therefore Lucille Ball is fake. I love that Prince Thunderflare.
If you take science into consideration. Science?
If you take science into consideration, why the fuck are we doing that now? Why are we bringing science into this shit? So far we've been fucking science sideways. Why not continue with that trend?
Only works if you have one magical event that no one has to actually have proof for. Everything stems from the Big Bang Theory.
Okay. So we don't have any proof for the Big Bang at all. We don't have any proof? Motherfucker, we have pictures. We have the cosmic microwave background radiation, but we've also found gravitational waves. So yeah, we have evidence to support the Big Bang. So I don't want to hear your fucking shit about how we don't have evidence, how it was magical and shit. Because we have natural explanations for everything that happened afterwards. We just don't know exactly how it banged. So I don't want to hear this bullshit about how it's magical or how we don't have evidence for it. We have more evidence for that than we have for anything in a religious textbook or this flat earth shit. A religious textbook. A religious book. They're not textbooks.
The size of a pinhead, two atoms connecting, blowing up, and creating everything that's in this universe.
Did he say two atoms? Like hitting each other, exploding, and creating the universe? Who even says this shit? That was something he literally pulled out of his ass, or maybe he just misunderstood it. I have no idea, but nobody says that two atoms struck together and created the universe.
Millionth of a millionth of a millionth of a...
Huh?
A millionth of a millionth of a millionth of a second. It went from a size smaller than an atom to bigger than a galaxy.
Right.
Well, yeah, what that guy is explaining right there is the singularity and how, the singularity theory is one of the theories out there where, everything in the universe was compacted into something smaller than an atom and then it exploded. We just don't know what made it explode. That's one particular theory that's out there, or, well, hypothesis, I guess. There are plenty of other hypotheses out there.
And then Einstein.
Hypotheses.
Plus, it wasn't two atoms, it was Adam and Steve.
It was Adam and Steve, motherfucker. Get it fucking right, okay?
Einstein thought of the theory of gravity, which is just a theory.
Oh god, just a theory. Fucking, I gotta add that to my list of common shit. Theory, a scientific theory is very different than some general wild ass idea, right? So a scientific theory is rigorously tested to be proven false. If you can't prove it false, then it remains intact and it is a scientific theory. But if you can find a way to break the theory, then you have to change the theory in order to make sure that it's not broken by that same thing. So no, it's not just a theory. Nothing is ever just a theory in science. If it's a scientific theory, then it's been tested and hasn't been proven false.
You have the Big Bang Theory, the theory of gravity. So now we have a disbelief for these things.
Okay, so gravity, it has a law and a theory associated with it. The law mathematically describes the effects on reality, while the theory explains what that force is. And so, yeah, I mean, you have to understand these very basic scientific concepts there, Jared. Maybe pull the conspiracy Illuminati triangle out your ass for a minute and do actual fucking science.
The last thing that you have to think about is religion.
Fuck it, religion. That's the last thing you gotta think about is religion.
So in the Bible, it talks about the sea, there's the sky, there's the firmament. What the firmament is a dome.
It says that in the Bible.
Yeah, there's a firmament, so the dome shaped, the heaven.
That's because they were ignorant of how the earth is actually shaped. I mean, are you seriously gonna put your trust in these ignorant 6th century Jews? You're gonna say 6th century Jews living out there in fucking goats in the Middle East are gonna be more inclined to know the truth about our planet and our solar system, our universe, than what we can actually visibly detect now? You got some fucked up priorities there, Jared.
Are above it, and then it talks about how the Earth expands to its 4 corners. So that also would make you feel like there could be a flat shape.
I like Shane's face there, like, oh shit, the Bible says it. That means it's true. Well, Shane, you know, the Bible also says to stone homosexuals, so maybe your ass should start running. I believe he's gay. Let's see. Is Shane Dawson gay? Oh, maybe he's not. He just seems... Oh, okay, so Shane Dawson TV uploaded I'm bisexual. Okay, so if he is bisexual, you should still start running, because that shit is definitely not condoned by the Bible.
Okay, so really quick, give us a breakdown. What is the flat Earth theory, and why does it exist?
So...
Flat Earth is not a theory. It is not even barely a hypothesis. No, it is not a hypothesis, because hypotheses can be proven wrong. Flat Earth to a flat earther cannot be proven wrong. They have proven this time and time again. So no, it is a wild hair idea. It is not a hypothesis nor a theory.
The flat Earth theory is that we are not on a ball. We're not on a sphere. We're on something that's flat. A flat plane, a planet, right, is just the word plane with a T. And Antarctica, which is in the very south, is an ice wall that's around all of the continents. So instead of us being able to go around the world, it's all enclosed by Antarctica's ice wall.
So there are legit people that have circumnavigated Antarctica, have flown around it, have went from like South America to Australia or Africa or wherever the fuck else you can go that's around down there. They have literally went all the way around Antarctica. It is not an ice wall that surrounds the entire like flat Earth. It's ridiculous. The furry skeptic. Context is blasphemous, don't you know? I do know context is blasphemous, at least to these people.
So the United Nations map is actually the flat Earth map model.
That's because they're lazy and they like to draw conclusions where there is nothing to draw from.
Have actual borders around this, and then you see all the continents spread out. So if this was a globe, they spread it out like this. So that's...
For one thing, any flat version of like the globe, it's all a projection. There's different projections. If you'll notice right here, South America is like huge. It's not proportioned correctly to how we're used to seeing it. Also, Australia looks like a turd. So I don't want to hear how this is an accurate representation of like reality and shit.
The model that they believe in. There's an Arctic ice wall around it. And one reason this gets perpetuated and people think it's valid to think Antarctica is the barrier is because in the late 50s there was a treaty signed by almost all the major countries of power to not let anybody go into Antarctica.
No, actually, it was a treaty that was meant to be a joint agreement between all these nations that any scientific research done there is available to the entire world. You can look at the Antarctic Treaty and go out there and see it. It does have stipulations about protecting the environment and everything like that, but it's mostly about an agreement between all nations to share scientific information gained there, but also to protect that habitat because nobody lives there.
If you try to get close to Antarctica, they're going to tell you, get the hell out of here. You could go on little explorations of it, but...
I love how he immediately backtracks on his shit. So you can't go there, but you can take little expeditions? The fuck are you talking about? There are like vacations in which they'll take you to Antarctica and you can go to some select portions of it. But that's because like you can't just march across Antarctica. There's like a 4-month window when you can even fucking go down there. So I don't want to hear your shit about any of this, because you could have a scientific study that you want to perform down there and you could get all the relevant documents and go down there if you wanted to. Just because it's controlled by you know, an organization doesn't mean that it is unattainable. Like, it doesn't mean that you can't get down there. Prince Thunderflare, how dare they stop a third world war? NWO! Well, he said re at the end, so.
Nothing without a bunch of people monitoring you, right? And planes don't fly over it. All flight patterns take you away from Antarctica. No one's flying directly over it. They always...
Why did they show a plane flying into the ice wall? I don't understand what that has to do with anything right now. But also, I mean, true, you don't want to fly like directly over Antarctica because there's no place for you to land on there. Plus, if you land on there, it's pretty much a death trap. I mean, it's not like there's a fucking gas station or like an airstrip in the middle of goddamn Antarctica, you know? Goddamn, use your fucking head a little bit.
Always take a weird route. Like, there was an airplane that was going from the Philippines to Los Angeles, which should be a straight route, Philippines to Los Angeles. Mid-flight, a woman, her water broke. So they had to make emergency landing. They could have either just turned around or kept going to Los Angeles.
Okay, so this is not how flights are mapped, just by the way. So you can't sit there and tell me that they just like the straight line from Philippines to Los Angeles was the way to go. See, when I left the what was it, the Chicago O'Hare Airport to go to Japan, and what we had to do was we actually had to follow up the coast of Canada and along Alaska, then along Russia, and then back down on into, like, you guys can see, I forgot you can see my thing. We had to go from here up over and then there, because you have to factor in the curvature of the earth. If you don't factor in the curvature of the earth and you just go straight there, then it actually takes a lot longer because it's farther. If you go with the curvature of the earth, it's a shorter distance. Dipshit. Oh, yeah. Focusing the camera so it doesn't shut off. Now let's continue with this stupid shit.
Somehow they ended up in Alaska. So the...
Well, yeah, because, and I mean, I know you guys can see my cursor here. If more than likely they were traveling like in a curved path, like they were probably flying up. They probably wanted to stay close to the land, so they probably would have landed like up there. So they ended up in Alaska, not because they took a detour and went that way, but because they had to follow the curvature of the earth.
Flight plan to get them from Philippines to Alaska, if you put it on a flat earth map, it's a straight line from the Philippines to Alaska. But when you put it on a globe, it makes no sense.
It does make sense when you know how they fucking fly planes. Obviously, this guy doesn't.
Right? So there's like, let me break some stuff down. The world that we live in. Let's really analyze this.
All right, guys, turn your fucking caps around. We're about to analyze the fuck out of this shit. Do I have a Sharpie? I don't, maybe I can just, oh, I have a pen. I have a pen, honey. Thank you. We're going to analyze this shit, people. Get out. I have my certified engineering paper, so you know I'm legit engineering over here. Let's figure this shit out. Let's analyze it.
We live in a world that is all based on material things. Materialism.
Material
controls the country.
Things.
Money. Really, it's about
money.
Sex. It's about objects.
This is my shoe closet.
I see it is my closet. Everything here will be designer. Gucci, Louis.
Why you got little Tay in this? She is so irrelevant.
Louis Versace.
It's about egos and how people feel about themselves. All marketing is based
Egos.
on fears and compulsions to make us be driven to want to do things, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's how marketing works. I'm sorry that you don't understand how marketing works. You would think with kind of a celebrity brother, you would think you know how marketing works, but I mean, who fucking cares at this point?
So our whole life is filled with billboards and advertisements and commercials, and it keeps us very occupied on that surface level of life, right? And it makes it easier to control you.
What the fuck does this have to do with the flat earth? I have no fucking idea. But I've got material things plus money plus objects plus egos equals, I guess, flat earth. It equals flat earth. I don't know if you can see that. Flat earth, people. That's what makes the earth flat.
You know, music is a huge influence on the culture. You know, we had gangster rap 20 years ago.
Rock you in your face, stab your brain with your nose bone. When I'm called off, I got a sawed off. Squeeze the trigger and bodies are hard off.
And then all this.
You know, I have to say, anybody that hasn't watched the NWA sort of like drama movie kind of documentary thing, it's a very interesting story, but also they weren't exact. I mean, they were rapping about their own personal experiences in Compton. So, I mean, it wasn't anything but an expression of themselves. I mean, if you were to say that rap or music in general was used to promote these fucking, sheepish ideas or whatnot, then you would have to say all arts and literature and everything like that was used to do the exact same thing, because that's all it is. It's art. And so I don't want to hear this shit about it, because it's self-refuting, because he himself is right now being an artist by producing these videos, and then he's going to criticize like media and art in the same breath. You can't do the same thing. If they're pushing Illuminati agenda shit, you're pushing Illuminati agenda shit.
Sudden, the prison system started filling up even faster. You have nowadays with people rapping about Xanax and opiates.
Xanax gone fake, yeah. Designer shoes is Xanax, popping on X, popping on X, popping on X pills.
Legit, modern rap music sucks ass. I'm just gonna say it. It does. I don't like it. Like, I'm more of the Tupac and the Beastie Boy and all of that kind of era. Like, I don't know, there's sometimes some good rap songs that come out now, but I mean, at least the things that they're showing here is literal shit.
So obviously the kids now are putting themselves into a deeper slumber. Like, they want to dumb us down.
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
And just make us robotic, you know, just to make us feel like just pawns in a chess game. Think about like marijuana. We live in a world where there's a seed that if you put it in dirt in front of your house, you could possibly go to jail.
Arrested for selling.
Okay, look, obviously you can't grow marijuana out in your front yard. Marijuana hasn't been legal in a long fucking time. So I don't, like, we have certain restrictions on these things. Well, for one thing, marijuana it's got kind of a bullshit past. Like, not that the past is bullshit, but the reasons why it's criminalized is bullshit. But there are other things like meth and all these other things that are illegal for a reason. And that it's just like, of course, Drano isn't illegal, but I mean, I'm sure that if you could package it up in Tide Pods, it would be. Christmer. Did I say that right? Christmer. Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. That's the Bumblebee song.
Brownies laced with pot. Jacob Avoro now faces a possible life sentence.
You were sentenced to life without parole for possession of marijuana?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
They don't allow you to do psychedelic drugs. They make you feel like those are the devil and those are evil. But things like alcohol are legal. Prescription drugs are legal. You know, things that are really killing people. So they want to suppress us.
I will admit that the whole opioids thing, the opioids kill more people than marijuana does, because marijuana doesn't kill people. So I think that there is a lot of imbalance. I think that he has a point there. There's a lot of imbalance there with what drugs are allowed and what drugs are not allowed. But even so, opioids are supposed to be controlled substances. If you're taking opioids without some kind of prescription or whatnot, not to say that you can't be prescribed it and be addicted, but just saying that they're supposed to be controlled.
You think weed and like mushrooms and stuff, you think for the most part all that's illegal because why?
Because things like weed or things like mushrooms, they expand your mind and they really put you into the universe, and it puts you into perspective of
no, that I mean the psychedelic drugs and everything like that, it's not that they open your mind, they just make you process shit differently, and so you experience things differently. It doesn't actually change the reality around you. That is the DMT talking right now.
what life is all about. For instance, there's a drug DMT. 90% of people that smoke this drug, when they first smoke it, they hear in their head, "We're so happy you found this technology."
Ew, oh my god!
Oh my god, it's like the first time you take a dildo up the ass. Oh my god! Yeah, you know, whatever you hallucinate while you're on DMT is just your own hallucination. It's not a reflection of reality. Your brain chemistry is being altered, so you experience things differently. I don't understand why this would be compelling to anybody but a dumbass. The dumbass that's on screen right now.
Ew. So think about that. I mean, so they want to get you into something where they can completely control you. I mean, we're at the point now where they put little machines in your house to basically do everything for you, where you have phones that listen on everything to tell you your next purchase that you want to make.
And then on my Instagram feed, a commercial for Triscuits popped up.
They're listening.
They're listening in.
Listen, marketing, like they're employing more advanced marketing like strategies and all this, being able to detect what exactly you want. I know whenever I peruse shit on Amazon, all of the ads everywhere start showing me Amazon shit for things that I've already looked at and I decided I don't want. So this is not proof that anybody is gearing you to sell you anything. They're just preemptively trying to be there so that when you think of that, you will want to buy from those ads.
I mean, they want to be able to go in your house and stock your groceries.
That's true. Yeah.
That's just a test to see, are the people ready for that yet?
Developing new services isn't an indication of anything other than the private sector wanting to innovate its own services to be more competitive. That is it.
Are they ready for us to go in their house and stock their fridge?
Oh my god. The flat earth kind of makes sense if you think the simulation theory is real. Why?
No, I'm sorry. I get the simulation theory being that we all live, like right now we're all living in a simulated universe or whatnot, or that we're just in a simulation. Like, I get that idea, but that does not mean that the earth is flat. Like, it doesn't make, like, the earth being flat doesn't make more sense in the reference frame of a simulation. Like, it just doesn't.
Wouldn't the earth be flat? Why wouldn't there be an ending on each side? And Elon Musk, the guy that really made it popular.
Obviously this feels real. The odds that we're in base reality is 1 in billions. I don't think I'm being played by somebody in a video game. But then people in video games don't generally think that.
People in video games also don't think. So I'm just saying. But I do disagree with Elon Musk here. Simply because, like, we don't know, like, regardless of whether this right here is a simulation, it has no bearing on what we actually experience. So we're still stuck with the experiences that we have in the world that we live in, regardless of whether it's a simulated one or not. So contemplating, oh, is this a simulated reality, doesn't really advance the conversation. It doesn't help us out in any way. Also, there's no way to discern that we actually are living in a simulation. So regardless of that, we're still stuck with the universe that we're living in, whether it be simulated or the actual universe.
He's like a genius, everybody trusts him, he created Tesla, all these things. Well, one thing that he did that like a lot of flat earthers felt like was a personal attack was when he sent that car into space with a camera, it showed that the earth was round.
They felt it was a personal attack? What the fuck? Also, I love this whole this Starman shot right here. This right here is an awesome fucking shot.
And everybody's like, see, flat earth is stupid. Elon Musk showed us that it's round. But in that video, there is a weird moment. And it's like a glitch. And it's a moment where it kind of looks like a green screen. You see the earth behind the car, and then it's a studio, and then it's back. Now that's...
Okay, well, that's a jump in the frames, because that particular thing right there was when the actual casing, like I guess, exploded off of the car or whatnot. The frames can easily get jumbled around. That doesn't mean that it's a green screen. Okay, so it's more probable that it was just the frames getting jumbled in transmission than anything else, if that's even what it is.
Debunked, but it is weird that that happened.
Who knows? Maybe this is Elon Musk's way of giving us a little Easter egg. Maybe he never actually shot this car into space.
No, none of that is true. He actually did shoot his car into space, because the reason why he was doing it was to show like how much you should trust the Falcon Heavy rocket. I mean, he put his own car on it as the payload and put it into space, and then made a big spectacle of it, showing that the car made it into space, showing that his technology was viable. That was the reason for putting it in there, not as a slight to flat earthers or anything like that, although it was pretty fucking cool.
Because this guy believes in this whole simulation theory, so why does he care about outer space? Maybe that was a little thing to put in there. Like, hey guys, let me give you a little idea. All of this is fake. All this space stuff is fake. You know what
No, that is not anything that he did or would do.
I'm saying? This is just a distraction. And then where's the curve? Have you ever seen the curve of the Earth?
Yes, we have. We have seen the curve of the Earth. We see it every day when we look out of our windows, because at every point on the Earth, we are on the curve. Now, granted, you would, in order to actually detect the curve, I mean, you would have to have a good more than 250 some odd miles in view. So, I mean, it also being higher up allows you to see farther and to actually see the curve. That's why you have to be higher up. So, yes, we have seen the curve. We detected the curve. We have images of the Earth showing the curve from a high altitude. So I don't want to hear this bullshit.
Information from a book written by men you've never met. And
you could say the same thing about the Bible, which he brought up earlier as proof for the flat Earth.
You take their words as true.
I mean, they say, well, in an airplane you could see it, but I can't see it. Yeah. You're at 6 feet tall. I can see about 3 miles ahead of me. And I can see about 20 miles in the panoramic setting.
No, it like, you being 6 foot tall is what tells you that you can only see like 3 miles ahead of you, and that's where the horizon starts, because that's how fucking geometry works, right? The same thing for the panoramic view. You can see, you can only see as far as you know, as your height allows.
If I'm 10,000 feet up, more than 1,000 times taller than what I am, shouldn't I be able to see about 1,000 times more at minimum? I mean,
Carolyn Clark, buy some more of that orange beer. You and KC deserve it. Oh, thank you, Caroline. I appreciate that. I think you got a 12-pack in there, so we'll definitely crack another cold one after this. Well, maybe I will. I know you don't drink, honey.
The Earth is only 24,000 miles around. I should be able.
It's only 24,000 fucking miles around. Yes, I mean that is a good number for the circumference, but also that means that like 1% of the curve of the Earth, which still looks flat, by the way, is like 250 miles like across. So don't give me this shit about, oh, it's just a 24,000 miles in circumference.
To see some kind of a curve. They send hot air balloons up. They just still see the same horizon.
You can see a curve in this picture. Like, why are these dumb fucks always too dumb to just look at the picture? Like, get you out like Photoshop or GIMP or anything like that. Get it out, draw a fucking line, and I can guarantee you that you will need to curve it slightly. You dumb fuck.
So if the Earth is flat, why do the people in charge want us to think it's round?
Motivation.
Because on a round Earth, hurling through space at hundreds of thousands of miles an hour, we're not really here for a purpose. We're just here coincidentally because of a big bang and the particles and evolution. But on a flat Earth with a dome on top of it, or even just a flat Earth with just the heavens above, all of a sudden we have purpose.
No, not all of a sudden we have purpose. For one thing, this is in... I like how they always accuse us of believing in like a ball of water when they literally believe in a ball of water with like a snow globe interior. That it's like a reverse snow globe. But no, it doesn't make it special or anything like that. The Earth is special in and of its own by being in the Goldilocks zone of our solar system. So don't give me this special shit. All you're doing is special pleading your way out of accepting that we live on a spherical Earth. You're contradicting all of known science and even shit that you could test yourself in order to believe this bullshit. So don't tell me that a flat Earth immediately gives you some kind of fucking purpose.
Think about if the moon knew your name, how personal you'd feel with the universe. You know the moon's name, but the moon doesn't know your name.
The moon doesn't know anybody's name because the moon isn't fucking alive, dipshit.
You're not important to the moon.
Nobody's important to inanimate objects. Damn. Like, are people really as fucking dumb? Honey.
Yes.
Are they? You're not important to the moon. Of course I'm fucking not. The moon doesn't have a mind. It's an inanimate object. God damn. Prince Thunderflare. I feel I have a purpose, not flat Earth required.
But what if the moon existed solely for you? What if the
Well, fuck me in the anus.
universe was for you? But instead the government wants you to feel like it's all unpredictable and at any point it's all going to go to shit because we really don't matter anyways and we're just a rock flying through space.
Okay, that's not the government that says that. That was, I mean, if you really want to take like who says that, it would have been like people prior to our current governments. Like, I mean, that's been a known fact for a while now. So I don't want to hear this shit. Like, of course, the Big Bang wasn't really accepted or even considered until our modern governments were around. But I mean, I don't think that you have to believe in the Big Bang to know that, you know, the Earth is spherical, because we've known the Earth is spherical since the 6th century or 7th century BC.
So it just makes us feel insignificant.
And then that's easier for them to control.
That's because we are insignificant. That doesn't mean that we're worthless. I think everybody can find worth in their lives, but I also don't think that you need the Earth to be flat in order to have a purpose to your life or to be worth something. So if you define your worth in terms of how flat the fucking planet is, I think that you need to get a new grasp on your self-worth.
And the best way to take over people is to create conflict and to get them obsessive over things that don't really matter to their existence.
What? That's the best way to like get control of people? I don't know there, dipshit. I think there's better ways. I mean, you could just invade a country and take over people. You don't have to like create HD TVs in order to control people.
Oh, Chanel mirror.
It is the biggest leap forward since the original iPhone.
What do you like about Supreme?
The hype and the exclusivity.
So a lot of people are coming for the accessories, especially like this shovel or
Yeah,
the
the
guitar.
shovel's kind of crazy.
Why does everyone want the crowbar?
Because it's a fucking crowbar. Are you fucking serious?
I have to admit, I like that guy. It's like, why the crowbar? Because it's a fucking crowbar, dipshit. What the fuck? My guess is because they have a lot of nostalgia for Half-Life, but I also wouldn't spend whatever the fuck Supreme is charging for a goddamn crowbar.
Think about it. The Earth literally grows things out of the dirt that provide you all you need to exist. Why the fuck are we going to McDonald's or to Starbucks or to all these places to spend all of our money?
Oh my god, look at this view.
Well, I mean, Starbucks makes really good coffee, so I mean, I don't understand what your problem is.
Coffee's actually coffee.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. Some people are fanatics about it, but you know, whatever. I don't see how like they're trying to paint this picture of capitalism means Illuminati, government, conspiracy shit.
Beautiful drink. It looks so cool. It tastes amazing too.
There was a system.
I really don't like it when people are like posing for like Instagram pictures and they got like the duck lips. Even if they're sucking on a straw, I'm like, tuck it the fuck back in.
Built around society to control you within it.
I'm off to McDonald's to see all the boys and girls.
Who's on the fuck train to Noteville?
Constantly make you want more.
So now that I'm thinking about that, why is everybody that even thinks maybe there's a possibility of the Earth being flat called crazy?
Because it's a way to discredit people. So by them calling you crazy, they've discredited everything about you.
Well, no. I mean, usually there are reasons why they say you're crazy. Like, I don't know, the whole thing that you're trying to spin right now about a conspiracy of the government wanting to control people through capitalism and mass media. I mean, I would say that's crazy, but I also don't think that somebody just blatantly calling you crazy disproves you. I think that everything that you've said up to this point is actually crazy because I've been able to refute everything that you've said.
You know, once you find out someone is a flat earther, are you going to take anything they say seriously?
I could. I mean, even in this very thing where you're open to the idea of being flat earther or the earth being flat, I've agreed with you on some things like the drug criminalization. Like, I've agreed with you on that. I don't think that you're inherently a dumbass, but I do think you're a dumbass for accepting that the flat earth could be true.
You know, and then also, conspiracy theorist is a term created to make people look crazy in the first place.
Well, no, conspiracy theorist is just an accurate term that describes what you are. You know, you're a conspiracy theory. You're theorizing about these conspiracies, not like scientific theory, but just wild, harebrained idea kind of conspiracy idea.
Place. Right. Like, when did we become a society that instead of exploring theories, started calling things conspiracies? Like, it's almost...
Well, when you have these harebrained kind of conspiracies where it takes so much, like when you base your theory on so much assumption and very little evidence and fact, then that is when it becomes crazy, I would say. I would say that it becomes crazy at that point. 420 Devil Dog, this dude's an idiot. Hail the gods of V8, ride eternal, shiny and chrome.
They don't want you to be a free thinker. And then all of a sudden, when you started looking up on Google and YouTube about the flat earth, where 6 months ago, a year ago, it was all pretty cool videos that gave you reasons to believe maybe this is a possibility. Yeah. But now when you Google it, it's all sketches about how stupid it is, or like, people are so dumb and I can't believe people believe this. So it's almost...
Well, yeah, that's because it is dumb and people just don't want to believe it. It's not that they don't want to believe it, but they're not convinced by the evidence that you guys provide. So let's skip forward a little bit here. Yeah, so at this point, he's talking about how the Flat Earth Society is like a government psyop kind of site or something like that. But he creates this whole idea that, you know, the government is paying people to debunk flat earthers, but then they're also paying people to run sites like the Flat Earth Society. I will say that the original forum that was created was kind of a satire thing, but I mean, satire is different from like government shill.
Government put out information to debunk something that's clearly insane, you know, because right when you Google it, if all that, so it doesn't ever let you get to the point of the theory that really has value. The reason I like the theory, because it puts me in a place that I matter, that I have a purpose. This was designed as opposed to just coincidentally happening.
Okay, so we're getting to the meat and the heart of it here. He believes in the flat earth theory, which not even a hypothesis, but he says theory. Anyways, he believes in it because it makes him feel special. Reality doesn't give a fuck about your feelings, okay, Jared? Nobody, like the universe does simply not care about how special you feel. It just is.
That I somehow, you know, have meaning in this, as opposed to I'm a speck of dirt on this planet that's just hurtling through space. Yeah. You know, and they don't want you to feel like that. So that really is what it is. In order to control the sheep, you have to make them feel like there's a gate there. So they constantly keep a gate there. There's videos of sheep, rectangular area that has all of a sudden they realize there's no gate. That has a gate is where you stay. There's no gate there. I could run free. What would that do to the sheep herder? The sheep herder has to make those sheep believe that they're stuck there and they're...
So basically he's laying out what conspiracy theorists think, that basically the government is controlling you by only providing these certain avenues and suppressing other avenues so that you can only see these avenues that they want you to see, like science. And that's not even true. let's see, we got lemon juice. Oh, maybe lemon juice. I think maybe lemon juice was on the Streamlabs. Anyways,
only purpose is to follow him and do what he says. All we are is just getting furred for sweaters and, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so now that we've talked about it.
All right, so now we've talked about it. Everything's led up to this fucking point. Peachy said, you know, he's kind of right. Peachy said, you know, he's not wrong. He is special, just not the kind of special he wants to be. Super Vaporeon. Wait, is this what happened to Shane? Don't do YouTube, kids. All right, so now Shane's about to tell, like, after he's investigated it through his conspiracy theorist brother, he's going to say what he feels about it.
Do you think the Earth is flat?
100% honest, I don't care about the shape of the Earth.
100% honest, he doesn't care about the shape of the Earth. Then why are you advocating? Why are you spreading all this bullshit about the shape of the Earth?
To be honest with you, we're generalizing the theory when we just call it flat Earth. Flat Earth is just one variable. It's just the shape of the Earth. Do I believe that this Earth was designed to have things on it that could have purpose? Yes. So I see myself attracted more to it than I do a Big Bang Theory where people evolved and we're just here because of a cycle and that's pretty much it. And then
okay, so this is a very bad way to come about any decision in life. Like how something makes you feel or how you perceive something, like how you perceive something to make you feel more special is not an indication of reality. That is not how you get towards truth. I mean, you could think that Hitler was the nicest guy on earth. No matter how much you want to think that he was the nicest guy on earth, he still killed like a lot of people, over 6 million Jews. Godless Island, too much cock soup plus YouTube equals flirt fur.
at any point an asteroid's going to hit us and we're all going to be dust. So I subscribe to the ideology of the flat earth theory. As far as it being flat, it becomes less and less important to me as I dig into it. You know, what becomes more important?
I have to question whether or not these guys are being sincere in their beliefs at this point. Really, because basically he's like, I subscribe to the ideology of flat earth, but I really don't care about the flat earth, but I subscribe to the ideology of flat earth. Like, no, that what you're describing is creationism, and that's fine, but call it creationism. You don't have to go with the flat earth. Like, you can feel all the fucking special that you want to, and it still be a sphere. It's still very special that we live on a sphere.
To me is, why am I here? And why am I here doesn't make sense unless you put it in context that things were created for a purpose.
No, that would be wrong. You don't have to be created for a purpose in order for your life to have meaning or for there to be a reason why you're here. It's perfectly fine if you find, if just evolution is a good enough thing. Apparently for him, he needs to be special as fuck in order for life to make sense. That's very sad for him, but that's not actually what reality shows us.
You know, well then I guess if you put it that way, I guess I kind of believe it too. Oh my God!
Well, see, but you don't. But we're not believing.
No, none of these things should convince you about the flat Earth. Prince Thunderflare, it's just a Christmas and Easter thing for him. He's a seasonal flat earther.
Even it's flat and all this, we're believing that it was created and it's not everything that it's been told to us, right? We're open.
So basically, what they're doing, it sounds like, is that they're packaging up creationism into a flat earther kind of package. Because it's like, Shane is like, oh, I guess I believe it too because I want to be special as well. And what I have to say is that Shane, you and your dumbass brother are both special, but not in the ways that you want to be. It's a bit more remedial in nature in which you are special. So there's only a little bit left of this, and I think that we're gonna go right into the questions and answers portion of the stream. So what I have to say about this is that they provided no evidence to suggest that the Earth actually is flat, and at the end they refuted the whole purpose of this video, because once they got to the end, they were like, oh, I don't actually think that the earth is flat, but I like the ideology of the earth is flat because it says that I'm special and it makes me feel all warm and tingly inside and everything like that. It's like, no, you can get the same feeling from fucking whiskey. All right, so if you have any comments or questions in the chat, please tag me and I will do my best to answer any questions that you have. Christmer, Urchan is a thick girl. I do have a Discord, although I don't have it up right now to give it to you. Let's see. Hold on, I had some. Godless Engineer, do you think these guys were just trolling? Maybe. I mean, at the end, they seem to refute like everything and be kind of bullshit. So maybe, but I also don't want to be part of the crowd that just says you're lying, or calling them trolls just right out the gate. Bendu Box, is he wearing a NASA cap? I know the Earth is flat now. That's right. I'm wearing some NASA shit. GE is getting to that stage of his baldness. I can still hide it along with long hair, but it shouldn't be too much longer. No, I'm not going bald. My hairline has been this far receding back for a while now. Oh shit! Hold on, Reese, Godless Engineer, I love you. Keep on keeping on. Prince Thunderford, goddamn. Fucking whiskey, Godless Engineer. Shit, yeah, I love me some whiskey. I don't drink it all that much, but you know, personally, I prefer like draft beer, like the draft beers. But oh well. Jeremy H, did someone say whiskey? I swear I heard that, so I ran here. I love me some whiskey. Gotta spaghetti. If the Earth was flat, would D Marble still have a terrible haircut? Yes, he would, and he would still live in a van down by the river. What's the stupidest argument? I would have to say that it's D Marble's argument that the sun has blue shit around it all the time. So that's how we know any picture of the sun from anywhere else is fake, because it's not blue around it. Zombie Robot Sheep, do you think they have any research or just parroting feel-good bullshit? Parroting feel-good bullshit is what I'm going to say. Godless Engineer, when are you coming back to Dallas? It'll probably have to be like next year sometime. I think we have a pretty full schedule for the rest of the year. So, Godless Engineer, do you have a formal education accreditation degree? I have 2 degrees, a computer engineering degree and a master's in software engineering. The other one's a bachelor's. So yeah, I do, definitely. Do you feel comfortable admitting your pegging fetish? I don't have a pegging fetish, but I do joke about it a lot. Christmer, I'll echo that. How much did NASA pay you to shame the Godless Iowan? Not much. They won't do anything. Will you buy me a bottle of whiskey? Hell yeah, Angry Pumpkin. Of course. Let's see, let's get down here. Forcibly suck my nuts. The Earth is flat. Cat Brony. That is by far the best ones. Nugget. Yeah. Luna Greenwich. GE just recently subbed. Loving what you do. Found you from your Vice Rhino guest video. Awesome, Luna. I appreciate you coming by, stopping by and watching my shit. Godless, let's see, Mike Lemons, Godless Engineer. Did you hear about all the professional flat earthers going to the Salton Sea last weekend and accidentally proving Earth's curvature? I didn't. That would be interesting. Did they actually admit that there was a curve, or did they come up with some dumbass like reasons why? Godless Engineer, favorite Pokemon game? Well, I'm really old school, so I like Pokemon Yellow, but I mean, that's just me. I haven't really played all the new ones extensively. Godless Iowan, the Earth is flat with a PH. Flat with a PH. Evantal, Godless Engineer, how much did NASA pay you to advertise them? I can't be paid by NASA because I say fuck. That's actually one of the stipulations. You can't curse. Angry Pumpkin, Godless Engineer, you have fucked up now, boy. Now I have evidence. You all saw him say he'd buy me whiskey. I'll give you like $20 for whiskey there. Or whatever the fuck kind of green money you guys have.
I've bought him beer.
Yeah, KC bought him beer while he was here. But yeah, I don't know what kind of like leprechaun-y shit you have. Like, do you guys use gold pieces over there? I'll give you a couple cold pieces to go get some whiskey.
Hi, lukewarm lettuce.
Jeez. KC said hi, lukewarm lettuce. Mike Lemons, Godless Engineer. They came up with dumbass reasons such as vapor, water vapor. Wow. Godless Engineer, ever played Digimon World games for the PlayStation? No, I never played Digimon. I did watch the show a little bit, but I didn't really get into it all that much. Fred Knotts, Red debunked that Salt and Sea video already. They really screwed up. It is funny. I'll have to check that out. I'm sure they fucked up. They always fuck up the whole, like, shit over water kind of experiments. Marky Harding, Godless Engineer, first time I watched you live. Good stuff, bro. Thank you, Marky. I appreciate that. Avantal, Godless Engineer, Red's Rhetoric had a video about that beach thing. Good shit. Oh, okay. Pheno 3000, Godless Engineer, no, they did not admit it, although Skiba said you have to twist the truth to make the flat earth work, but they described results that confirm the hidden behind the curve value, or cure value. Curve. Crap, I had a, not an artist. Flatards admit there is a curve, lol!
That says not an idiot.
I said not an idiot.
You said.
Oh. I meant not an idiot. Sorry. Godless Engineer, how do you drink your whiskey? Well, a shot glass, I just go knock it back real quick. I don't know. Maybe that's the wrong way. Lisa Nagel, Godless Engineer, Overkill, The Walking Dead, and Dying Light 2. I love both of those things, and I'm definitely going to be playing both of those when they come out. Godless Engineer, when do we get our shield paychecks for saying the earth is round and that God... I don't know. You'll have to talk to Caitlin Chloe. She's the one that issues the checks. Caroline, Godless Engineer, record a music album, please. I sure will. Angry Pumpkin, Godless Engineer, did you seriously steal my Don't Be a Richard joke? You shit. And don't use gold. We have beer tickets for trade. I'll buy you some beer tickets, I guess.
Has he seen the Don't Be a Richard hat?
Oh. Yeah, have you seen the I don't know where we have a Don't Be a Richard hat. It's somewhere around here. It's pretty funny there, Angry Pumpkin. Godless Engineer, do a quick Whitney Houston. And I will always love you.
They didn't even pay you to do that.
This is Snarky. Awesome show. Cat Brony. Godless Engineer, you going to join us for a movie night anytime soon? I'm going to try to, but, you know, I'll have to, like, either cut this short or do a stream earlier in the day so I could do that. Not an Idiot says, I'm also not an artist. Cat Brony, your singing is classified as torture in 20 countries. All right, guys, in that case, since I've all exploded your mind for an hour and a half, I will definitely have to see you guys later. Thank you all for, especially Jeremy H. with the boot cap, super chats. I appreciate everybody joining in and giving those to me. I appreciate it. All of your money goes to worthwhile things like, you know, these hats that I keep buying.
Hey, none of that money has gone to those hats. I've bought all the hats.
I give you money every month. I buy you dinner.
Not enough for all the hats.
I bought you dinner multiple times. Anyways, heathens, we will see you guys later, and y'all have a lovely weekend. I don't know if I'll be able to stream any gaming this weekend, but if you want to head on over to Godless Engineer Plays, then subscribe there, and we might have some gaming this weekend. So, hope you guys have a nice weekend, and I will see you heathens later. Don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, guys.